Water scarcity leads to things like poor sanitation and hygiene, which leads to disease and adverse health outcomes and the inability of women and children to thrive. Water scarcity also leads to famine and crop failure. And the impact on women and children is they spend most of the day having to secure water and food, especially in developing regions. And it leaves little time for school, and it puts them behind the eight ball at best, and it results in lost opportunity at worst. The deforestation also impacts women and children significantly in their ability to have secure shelter. Deforestation impacts air quality and water quality and access to food and other resources that are essential to not just to survive, but to be able to thrive. And while women and children are disproportionately impacted by these issues of biodiversity loss, they are also pointing the way forward to a much brighter future. And so I'm really excited today to introduce you to a friend of mine. Her name is Eden Wild, and Eden is going to join with us with her dad. And Eden has just a terrific story to tell about her life's journey, but also in the way that she has chosen to impact, particularly the need for fresh and clean water for others. So I'd like to have Eden jump in here with us and join us. Hi, Eden. How are you?
Hi, good.
Good to see you. I'm sorry to pull you away from class time right now, but I'm sure that you'll be able to nail that stuff. But we really appreciate your time to join us. Also want to introduce Eden's dad, Major Ivan Wild. He's the divisional leader for the Del Oro division, and Eden's, I think, lead champion and supporter and her sole employee.
Yes.
So
she tells me she's the CEO. She tells me what to do.
Yeah. So thank you both for being willing to join us. So Eden, I would love it if you could start off by just telling us a little bit about your story, and then I've got some questions that I'd love to ask you about your work and the projects that you're working on. So can you tell us a little about your story?
Yeah, so I was born in Ethiopia, and I lived in I was in an orphanage for a couple years, and then my parents picked me up, and I've lived in California ever since. And then a couple years ago, I just learned about how bad the crisis is in Ethiopia, and I wanted to do something, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, so can you tell us just a little bit about what do you remember from time in Ethiopia, or do you have much memory there, or tell us a little bit about home, that part of home.
My parents got me when I was 2, so I don't have very specific memories of that. But I do remember that I had a friend in the orphanage named Bruticon, and that goes behind a lot of what we're doing now. I don't know where she is now. I learned of a statistic a little bit ago that 1 in 15 children die before their 5th birthday. Die before their 5th birthday in Ethiopia. And she could be one of those statistics, and I don't know. And so that's a specific memory that I have of that orphanage, and that drives a lot of what this is.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your water project, and a little bit about the business model that helped you put this thing together.
Yeah, so we sell 3 different kinds of beans. We buy them fair trade from a wholesaler, and then we roast them in 1-pound batches, and then we sell them and distribute them for $7. And then 100% of our profits go back to Ethiopia and our projects in Ethiopia. So far, we've done one well that was about $5,000. And then we've sent 40 backpacks of school supplies over there with school supplies, hygiene kits, backpacks, just stuff to help them out. And then we're looking to go on a trip to Ethiopia in April.
So with the well that you put in, tell me how many people, or do you know how many people will be supported by that well, and what are some of the uses that they'll be using it there for?
Yeah, so there's about 1,800 people that are being served by the well. And then the well does more than just the water and like the direct impacts of water that go to medical and stuff. But then there's also the effects of education. They're not getting an education because they're out getting water, and they're not getting healthcare, obviously, because they don't have access to that. So the lack of water really does affect their entire life.
Yeah, but I'm just really excited that you've been able to put that well in, and that you're continuing to work on projects. Can you tell me, so how did you come up with the idea to roast coffee, and what inspired you to want to put a well in, of all things?
Yeah, so my dad a couple years ago got a little coffee roaster for his birthday. And when I learned about that statistic of 1 in 15 children dying before their 5th birthday in Ethiopia, like that hits you. And I wanted to do something to give back to them. So we found a Christian organization, and we campaigned it through them. And they're out in Ethiopia building the wells right now. And yeah.
But it's a great idea. So tell me a little bit about the name of your company, and how you came up with the name.
Yeah, so Buna Tariq Roasters, Buna means coffee in Ethiopian, and then Tariq is my middle name, which means story. And Buna Tariq Roasters is coffee with a story. It's a story of changing lives. And every bag of coffee that you buy, you're changing the life of a kid, and you're changing a kid's story. And that's really what we want to do, is change kids' stories. And the Army has a saying of not giving a hand out, but a hand up. And that's what we're trying to do, is create sustainable futures for them and help them out now, but then also help them long term and help them really just end the crisis that they're experiencing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, and you're having a profound impact on the lives of countless numbers of people, and I'm excited that you're going to have a chance to get over and visit them at some point, and just be able to to hug them and shake a hand. And so, can you tell us a little bit more about what's next for you? What are some of the other projects that you're doing? Are you going to put more wells in, or what are you doing?
Yeah, so going back to the whole sustainability part of it, we started Amarabi Works, and this is really about, again, helping them create sustainable futures. So we funded the money for them to get the supplies and the people and stuff to build these bracelets, and then they're sending them out to us, and we're selling them with the coffee, and 100% of the money that we're getting from that is going back to them, and then we're teaching them how to create a future for themselves with it. So they're buying school supplies, personal supplies, and then personal savings. And that's helping them learn how to use the money and then just create a future for themselves. And then long term, we do want to stay in the water business. But wherever there's a need, I just really want to help out.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So let me make sure I've got this right. You're 13 now, or 14?
13.
Yeah. And so tell me a little bit what it's meant to have mom and dad being so supportive of. I mean, this is a pretty wild idea, to decide that you're going to put a well in thousands of miles away, that costs thousands of dollars. What is it meant to have their support and encouragement along the way?
Yeah, it means a lot. And knowing that those people, they're not directly my family, but I could be helping my aunt or my sisters. Yeah, it's impactful.
Yeah, you're having a tremendous impact, and we're super proud of you. So if somebody who's listening to this now wanted to help you out, how could they do that?
Yeah, so we have a website called btroasters.com, and we sell those bags of coffee for $5, or you can make it direct, or $7, or you can make a direct donation through that website. You can email us at bunatariqroasters@gmail.com. Yeah,
So give the email address again.
bunatariqroasters@gmail.com.
Okay, and I think we'll have on the schedule on the screen, we'll have a copy of the website address. But if you, gosh, I would want to encourage anybody who's listening to reach out to you and offer their words of support and affirmation, and buy some coffee. And do you need any help roasting, or have you got plenty of free labor at home?
Yeah, I got my dad. He sits out there in the roaster and roasts it all.
Yeah, that's so great. Well, hey, listen, is there anything else that you would like to share with the folks who are listening about what you're doing, or a word of encouragement for folks to not give up on their own dream of doing something?
Yeah. A bag of coffee can give somebody water for 20 years. So you're helping one person for the next 20 years have clean water. So that one bag of coffee really does make a difference. Yeah, you have the ability and the power to change the world.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Eden. Without fresh water, you can't grow food. Without fresh water, you can't build housing or shelter. Without fresh water, you can't stay healthy. Without fresh water, you can't stay in school. And Eden, we are so proud of you, because you've made a huge difference in the life of those people. So keep charging, and we'll do everything we can to be a support to you. So we can't wait to see what the next big thing you're going to do. You're a world changer. So thanks, Eden.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for allowing Eden to participate with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks so much, you guys. Wow, that was, what a sweet young lady. And just important, I think, for us to remember that it's important to do something, and to believe in your dreams. And when the Lord puts something on your heart, it doesn't matter what your age is, 8 to 80. If the Lord puts it on your heart, and you faithfully pursue that, He'll make a way to see it through. So excited to share that with you. Eden is making a difference, for sure.